Welcome back to Cheddar News. I'm Alicia Nieves. The NFT craze is getting a new friendly edition. Entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk is launching his first collection of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, and calling the collection VeeFriends. Joining us now is the man, the myth, the legend, Gary V, CEO and creator of VeeFriends. Gary, always a friend here at Cheddar. Tell us first about VeeFriends, how this works, and what inspired you to get into this idea.
Thanks for having me. In January, it just had that eureka moment. I've had it twice in my career prior. Web 1.0, when I heard the internet for the first time. The second time took a little bit of time, similar to the NFT space, but it was really once I understood what MySpace and Facebook were really doing, and YouTube. VeeFriends, I knew I had to jump in and be part of this NFT movement. And so for me, it's creating an intellectual property that I want to manage for the rest of my life. Create a project that has 10,255 tokens that really does something that I haven't seen a lot of people do yet, which is, as you're seeing on the video, create a conference called VCon underneath it. So every token in my project is not just the art and the collectible, but it's a ticket to a 3-year conference called VCon that I'm going to be looking to put on once a year. Above and beyond that, there's actually access tokens where you can do virtual hangouts, we can go bowling, tennis head-to-head, dinner. So really what I was trying to do with this project was show people that you don't have to just put out a piece of art with your face on it. If you're lucky enough, if you've worked hard enough to actually have an audience, there's far more interesting things you can do by taking advantage of the smart contract in the NFT itself. And that's where I think the NFT space is really interesting. And that's where I think a lot of people are missing the point.
You know, I definitely want to get to your thoughts on the NFT industry as overall, but I'm really curious, the tokens that you talked about, you know, I know they can be bought with cryptocurrency, with Ethereum. Why was it important to kind of weave in cryptocurrency into this?
Well, because of the amazing dynamic that is the blockchain, right? All of these tokens, when the individual buys it, they control that asset. But if they were to resell it in the smart contract, I have a 10% royalty, 9% for myself, 1% for 5 charities of my choice each year of this project. That goes on in perpetuity. This is one of the incredible aspects of intellectual property and art and collectibles on this platform, which is the secondary derivative royalty aspect. This technology is going to change the economic structure for brands like Disney and many other IPs. And so that's one of the reasons. The other reason is this, in my opinion, is a platform that builds brand, has social components. And I think I'm setting up for what I think comes next, which is, I think, just like social media accounts and websites, I do believe that everybody will have a public wallet where all their tokens are shown, and it becomes a level of social currency. And of course, I want my intellectual property to be inside of those instead of, let's say, being a toy on a shelf.
I want to dig into that a little bit more because you seem to be really all in on NFTs. You seem really excited about it, really at a time where the average person is just starting to wrap their head around, you know, what this thing is. Even sophisticated investors are really struggling to understand it. Obviously, we see it selling, you know, non-fungible tokens, some of them selling for tens of millions of dollars. So as someone who seems to get it, right? What's the long-term picture here for NFTs? You touched on it there a little bit, but let's go beyond that.
I don't think there's a single ticket to a sporting event that's not an NFT. I don't think there's a single book that comes out that doesn't have an NFT. You literally buy the NFT and the book comes along with it. But then that book, you know, my book Crush It, somewhere here on the shelf, if those were all NFTs, that was my first public domain. That could be trading as a collectible value. But then I think the big one, and I touched on it, why do people buy $50,000 watches? Why do people wear certain fashion brands? Why do people do everything that they do? We are communication creatures. We are living in a digital environment. Why do people want a digital blue check on their social media account? Why do people want to buy skins on their Fortnite characters? Why did people buy sheep on Farmville in Facebook 10 years ago? This is always going to, and has always been happening. It happened in physical form. Like you can see, I've been a tchotchke collector kind of character. But this is now going digital, just like every other part of our lives. I think people really struggle with understanding how big this ledger, this is where people are gonna get married. Your marriage license is gonna be on this ledger. Leases, transactions, people are gonna NFT their homes, sell the NFT, it comes along with, imagine you have a unique home and you NFT your home. The person buys it, that's where the ledger happens along with the county. But you put in the contract, because you have a unique home, a 1% royalty on that home trading in perpetuity. That is a new dynamic.
It is just so fascinating. I mean, you pointed out several great points there where NFT, the world and the space could lead us to. I want to just check in on, you just launched today. What's the kind of response with VeeFriends you're seeing so far?
Well, this is the fun thing about technology. I was hoping to launch earlier today, but I just didn't feel the UI and the UX and the site was at the level where I felt comfortable with such an important launch. So we're still, I'm going to jump off with you right now and continue to QA the site. I hope to get it out tonight. The Discord is up to 120,000 people. My Twitter is completely on fire. I'm getting bombarded by my investment friends. They're like, when can I want to buy? Don't do it tonight. I got to buy. So I'm in the eye of the storm right now. Hopefully no later than tomorrow morning, and hopefully tonight.
Well, keep us posted. And before I let you go, I want to squeeze in one quick question here.
Please.
What else do you got going on? I mean, you're a man who wears many hats, who does a lot of things. You're on the latest trends. What else do you have coming up?
Well, VaynerMedia, the actual thing I do for a living, Chief Executive Officer of VaynerMedia. We just opened an office in Mexico City. I think there's incredible opportunity for social and digital storytelling in LATAM. And if I'm future facing, I'm spending my early time, just like 4 years ago I did with Ethereum, spending a lot of, like 5% of my time on VR. I think 6, 7, 9 years away, and somewhere in about 5, I'll get loud, just like I did here, just like I did with social. So VR has got my attention.
All right, well, keep us posted how VeeFriends does. Always come back anytime you want, whatever you got going on. Thank you so much, Gary Vaynerchuk, CEO, creator of VeeFriends.